Hello. I just want to say happy Father's Day to all of those men out there who are prioritizing their family and their obligations to lead by providing and being an example to all the men who understand the divine balance of leadership and grace. Your virtues are appreciated. Hashtag let men lead. That is a post that I put up on LinkedIn. The lead by example. Boom. So I posted that on LinkedIn earlier today. Wishing all the men in my network a happy Father's Day. I appreciate men that understand that divine balance between their leadership, and their, obligations to, be an example to the people in their family. I think, like I said, most women, if they have a man that is a really good example, they're going to follow that man's leadership for sure. Big ups to all the co-parents out there. You know what I mean? A lot of people think co-parents are weird. Like, why don't y'all just, if y'all can work so well together with y'all kids, why don't y'all just be together? And it's like, some people are just, their auras don't align. Okay, maybe their auras don't align the way that they thought it did. You know what I mean? Like I said, my kid's dad is 17 years older than me. Okay, maybe I had some daddy issues because I never really had a dad in my life. So maybe I had daddy's issues and older men just kind of did it for me. So my kid's dad is 17 years older than me. And I think we got together just before I turned 30, right? And I was in this weird transition in my career because I was working, in the education space, but I didn't think I really wanted to be there. He liked the fact that I was there, but I ended up going into a different sector. And long story short, I found that being with the older man at that point in my life was, it was almost like I rationalized that he would be more settled in his mindset. And so I figured, I would, pursue him. And I think that we had this, we are the both the same sign. And I think that, my kid's dad, he, it's funny because I think that because he was raised by a woman, a very overprotective woman, that really did not, because women, like I said, I would say it until the cows come home. Women can raise good guys, but we can't raise men. And I think, my kid's dad was raised by a very overprotective woman who really, didn't allow him to be accountable. Like a man can make a boy be accountable. And so I think that's where he kind of had this skewed idea of women, where he was more of a womanizer. He was very charming, but he also had this part of him where he wanted women, he always dated women that were, to me, pretty, they were pretty women. But to me, when I look at the standards of different types of women and one exotic woman looking woman from another, they weren't exotic looking women by any stretch of the imagination. And so, I think, when we got together, I think he thought I was young, I was malleable, you know what I mean? So he could just kind of play with my mind. And like, I think that what drew him to me was the fact that I was a career professional and I had passions, but it was also those passions and those drive that eventually made him feel insecure. And so when I looked at that dynamic, he went from supporting and liking those things about me to, over time, sort of using those things against me, where I even stopped doing a lot of things I really love to do, just to appease him and not make things complicated in the relationship. So I had a whole blog, and I was doing my thing in Detroit. I was going to parties. I was blogging about these parties, and I felt like, to respect him, you know, um, I stopped doing a lot of those things because, I mean, a lot of my work would require me to be up in a lot of men's face. And so I stopped blogging, let go of that passion. But my career has always been something that I felt like, I just wanted to be good at something. And I just felt like, I know that I cannot be with a man that cannot respect the fact that I want to establish myself in a career, you know what I mean? And who's threatened by that, you know what I mean? And I feel like, my kid's dad, he was kind of like, okay, I have this, he's a professional and he's been in this profession for over 20 years, but his sector has changed and he has not changed with the sector. So his sector, is calling for more people who are more technologically advanced in the computer space. And so he's a little left behind. And when we were together, I always told him, like, you need to let me develop my career and have a career drive because you are older than me. You're going to be out of the workspace before me. So I'm still going to be in the workspace for, at least, 25 years after you retire. So, like, but he didn't process that. Like, but and this is where I messed up because when I looked at my kid's dad, good guy, he had job stability, he could pay his bills, but he was not invested. You know what I mean? He didn't have wise money management. And, as I think about, the type of person that I want to align myself with now, it's like I have to think about these things. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of women don't think about those things. A lot of people, women and men, don't think about, how this person's managing the home economics, how this person is managing money. You know what I mean? And so, with my kid's dad, I saw his stability with working and career, but I didn't really get into that money management question, which I think is really important these days. So men play sometimes reverse psychology. This is true. I mean, but and please revisit one of the video on beta male, alpha male personalities because you're gonna see that these personality traits, that reverse psychology, that is a beta male trait. I know guys don't like to hear about beta male, but there are so many dudes on YouTube right now trying to advise men on how to go from a beta to an alpha male. There are men on YouTube right now that are advising men on how to become the leader that a woman would respect. Like there's a lot of dudes that are on there that are not about these reverse psychology games. And I think men, if they are conscious of the fact that they play these games and they know that they get a negative response from women, they need to change their games. You know what I mean? And women need to be more conscious and up on game to recognize these games and not fall into the same damn tricks. Because I mean, women don't look out for, the right things either. But this tale of me and my kids' dad and why we're not together, but why we co-parent so well, is because we got to the point where, we weren't happy because we weren't congruent. You know what I mean? We really were not in the same spaces in life where he felt like he had this idea of, I just want to settle in this and do this and buy all these things that I did not invest well enough to buy. You know what I mean? If you don't have a healthy 401k, if you don't have, investments, if you're not in the market, if you have not built a portfolio of assets to, you know, say that, okay, I've done all this work, I worked hard for my money, and now I'm at a point where I feel like my money should be working for me and I should be able to buy all these toys. You know what I mean? If you're that man, that's one thing. But when you're a man that don't have those things and you feel like just because you turn 50, you deserve to buy a Harley Davidson, I can't trust your leadership. I can't trust your leadership. And that is what I'm talking about when I say that there are some men that are not good leaders. Because money management, money a lot of times is what keeps a lot of couples in rivalry, anyways. So, money management is a red flag now that I look for because, if you don't have it, you're not a good leader. You're not an equitable leader for at least me. And, that's just my own personal opinion. So, we had this disconnect where we got into this dissonant phase. And so I got into this mindset where I was going to stay together for our kid that we had together. Right. And so it was torture for me being with a man that I could not respect. And I think it was torture for him being with a woman that he knew didn't respect him. But we had this child and we were trying to stay together. And then I think we just kept trying to make it work, make it make sense. I think that, we are just, we are not bad people. I think we just were bad people for each other. And we had to be together in that situation to realize that organically. And I don't hate my kid's dad. And because we had a very bad breakup. He ended up cheating on me, and I was pregnant at the time. And, he did not want me to keep our son. And, I had to make a decision. Because I'm not really for making poor decisions and then not owning up to those decisions. And that's what I look at abortion as. And, I don't think that a man over 50 should be telling a woman that he got pregnant to have an abortion. Right? You need to snip yourself. And honestly, he was supposed to get snipped after our daughter. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm getting snipped. I can't even do this anymore. And I'm like thinking we cool. And I'm like, bruh, what happened to getting snipped? But, here's the thing. As fucked up as that situation was, I went through the pregnancy by myself. And I think I learned a lot about myself, like just mentally, because I think being pregnant, going through a drastic breakup like that, it's just really chaotic for a woman. But I worked through all those angers, and then I realized that you did not want him for a clean 2 years before this happened. What are you really upset about? And I think I was really just upset about the fact that he cheated on me, disrespecting me out in these streets, and then was playing. Because it's like, my thing is, bro, if you done with me, don't keep trying to get the booty. We shouldn't be making no more babies. I was upset about that shit. I think that's what I was pissed off about. It's like, you out here in these streets disrespecting me, and then you coming home putting your motherfucking hands on me, bro, trying to make me, anyways, I think that's why a lot of black women be angry too, because a lot of these black men be out here disrespecting them in these streets, and they be really trying to make the shit work with the dude. And that's why I was just like, shit, I'm playing in the snow after this dude. I'm sorry. Black men, y'all can be angry all y'all want to. I'm playing in the snow. So, but after we got through, and my baby daddy knew what he was working with too. He knew he was dealing with an alpha. Hit the like button and subscribe if following my content you actually believe in alpha females now, because I've been trying to make some of you fellas a believer for sure. So exactly why they should invest in. I'm not advocating any type of investments. I don't do that on my page. Make an appointment. But I would say, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, we got these kids. I didn't want to be with him. He obviously couldn't handle being with me. And he even told me I was not used to being in a relationship with a woman like you. He told me that. And I accepted that. You know what I mean? I accepted that because, and I think that was probably the most honest thing that he ever said to me, because he was used to dealing with highly subservient type women. And although I was probably his second longest relationship, I think or maybe his third, it was like, it was one of those things where it was wild for him. It was just a different experience, because it was like, this woman is driven, she's powerful, she's she's moving, you know what I mean? And not only that, I don't give a fuck what none of you beta boys say, you know, I'm attracted to other men. And it's like, you know, I was attracted to other dudes, and it was kind of like, you know, this bitch is too confident. She, like, if I didn't want her ass tomorrow, she wouldn't even give a fuck. And, you know, that's where I learned about my flaws as a woman, as an alpha woman, and why some men have a hard time being with alpha women. And this is something that I realized that I need to soul search and correct in myself, because I have put men in a position that I've been with where they felt like I really didn't need them. That, you know, that they were expendable because I was so independent in my drive. And this is my advice to the ladies now, because all the dudes are always, yeah, you're talking about the dude, blah blah blah. But you know, I'm giving you testimony right now of things gone wrong. I'm showing you how to be accountable for kind of where you mess up too. You know what I mean? Because I know, looking back, especially with my relationship with my kid's dad, my drive was intimidating to him. And I didn't recognize that intimidation. I looked at it as jealousy, and him not wanting me to thrive to my highest capability. But the only reason why I felt like that was necessary was because I selected the wrong man at the wrong time. Because when I looked at our dynamic, we were not economically set up for the long haul. And because he was so advanced in age and did not plan for those things, I felt like my hustle was a compensation for what he was lacking. And, you know, I think that's why a lot of black women don't trust black men, you know, and men can take this however you want to, you know. I mean, I'm just giving you my story and my truth. But I feel like there was a lot of things in the situation with my kid's dad where I saw the accountabilities on both sides. I'm talking about the accountabilities on both sides. And I think people need to start doing that. You know what I mean? Just start owning up to where you went wrong. And sometimes it's about just going back to that root cause. Were you dating with intentions? Did you understand what you wanted in that relationship before you just jumped in? And a lot of times, you know, we meet people, the chemistry be so hot, we be on this frequency that just keeps us in this cloud. And then once you come down, and I think with me and my kids, that the minute I got pregnant, it was almost like the fun ended immediately. It was almost like as soon as, and this was because, and I think a lot of dudes, they don't want to admit this, but they'll be having mad fun with this chick, mad fun. We kicking it, 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 we doing our thing, we acting all booed up. I'm with you with me, and we cool, we cool, we cool, we cool, we cool. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, we got pregnant. And now you got joint responsibility. Now you can't just freely walk out of that relationship. I think psychologically, people need to start thinking about that. When pregnancy comes into the picture, that is when real responsibility becomes real for that relationship, where your connection to that person becomes more real time. Because when before any baby come into the equation, y'all can kind of go wherever you want to go. You can do whatever you want to. If it don't work out, you can case the person out, walk away to not working out. The minute a child comes into the equation, then the responsibility dynamic for that relationship changes. And for men who are not ready, who are not prepared for the responsibility of being in a relationship with that woman 100, he hasn't understood what his intention is with this woman. He's just experiencing this woman, her companionship, her body. That's what we're just doing. It's like a perfunctory thing. We're not dating. We're not aligning ourselves with people with intentions. So I want to say happy Father's Day again to all the dads out there. Like I said, hustling, who understand that divine balance between your work obligation and your leadership to your family. Big ups to all the dudes that are trying to fight for the male patriarchy. I'm not mad at you. Y'all just need to mind how y'all talk to y'all women. Some of y'all. I want to stop generalizing. Some of y'all men need to mind how y'all talk to y'all women, because some of y'all that's on this little red pill movement, whatever, it's like the way y'all come at me just for saying that I'm an alpha female. Hit the like and subscribe if you are a believer in alpha females now after looking at my videos. For real though. For real though. And I want to just say I'm sorry, because I've been saying Kwame. I'm from Detroit. All right, West Side bougie bitch. Okay, we add a little French to everything. We add a little French to everything. So big ups to Kwame Brown for just continuously waking Black people up, getting us out of this woke space and getting us more aware. You know what I mean? When you wake up, sometimes, when you're awake, I don't really completely like comprehend when I'm woke all the time. But when I'm aware, it's like somebody put some Red Bull in my eyes, like, oh shit, this is really happening. So check out some of my videos. I'm not a feminist. Stop calling me a feminist. Stop calling me a feminist. Stop generalizing women. Stop telling me that I look like Nina Simone, ugly ass. Some of you Black men don't know how to respect y'all women at all. Nina Simone is not an ugly woman. She may not have all the mixtures of European features and looking all light skinned and all chiseled out in her face and all that shit like that. But y'all, let me not use that word, because sometimes I get passionate. But y'all brothers really need to know how to appreciate the various beauty of your women. Not all of us look mixed, okay? Black women look different ways. In the words of Kwame Brown, sorry for anybody who's offended, you niggas sad. That's my favorite. I love it when he says that. I love it when he says that. You niggas sad. Some of you niggas sad. For real. Y'all don't even know how to appreciate the diverse beauty of your Black women. Calling us men names because we have different prominent features. You niggas sad. You red pill. Y'all, and it's like y'all revealing yourselves. Y'all broken masculinity. You a broken nigga. That's what you are. Go actualize yourself before you start taking Black women on a lower frequency, my dog. Sorry for using the N-word. I know people are funny about that. I'm working on myself. But seriously, it's like these men want, like, here's the thing. I come on my videos looking like crap because I'm not here to be seen. I'm here to be heard. I'm here to provide a perspective of my own opinions. If I really just wanted to be out here looking beautiful for some of you dudes, or guess what? I clean up very well. But I'm not here for you to be looking at me, yo. I'm here for you to hear what a Black woman has to say about these discussions. So, how you doing? I don't know what your name is or whatever. Hopefully you're not a troll. But y'all need to stop trolling too, because what is a troll? A troll is a demon. A troll is a demon. Black people love using the word troll. I'm a troll your ass. A troll is a demon. Get back to God, you evil ass, some of you evil ass people. Trolling. And y'all so demonized, y'all don't even know, where the lines of respectful public discourse come and straight disrespect. That's why y'all need to follow my page. We gonna bring back the art of respectful public discourse. sensible public discourse. Sorry, I get really passionate when I think about all the ignorant people who don't feel like Black women have anything important to say, feel like we need to shut our mouths, and you guys are talking fucking nonsense half of the time. You ain't no damn king, bro. You're a hyena. You're a beta. I'm doing very well, actually. This is Baby Daddy Get Your Kids weekend. So, my baby daddy bought me I love plants. I love plants. So he bought me a plant for Mother's Day on behalf of our kids. I know he loves motorcycles, so I'm waiting for his gift to come. I bought him a Harley. He's always on a liquid diet or something. So I bought him a Harley um, thermal cup because he's really into the Harley Davidson brand. So we do shit like this, because we want our kids seeing that we're cooperating with each other, even if we're not together. I respect his girlfriend, you know what I mean? And see, the thing is, like my baby daddy is like, if he knows that I make good executive decisions. So if I have someone exposed to my kid, he knows that person is going to be a valuable person. They're not going to disrespect our children in any way. And ladies, I'm telling you, women are reckless these days. Can we get into women being reckless with their sons right now, single women, for a second? Because I agree that we do need to talk about how reckless some of our women are out here in these streets, how they taken up with these men, these bum ass men, these obviously bum ass men. And then they're exposing them, hyper exposing them to their kids like super early on. Like, I've known my dude for years, since college, you know what I mean? And even after knowing him from years in college, we still hung out years after that as just straight up friends, before he ever met my kids. The only reason why he met my older daughter is because I brought her to school and worked with me at college. So, women need to be a lot more selective in the type of men that they expose their kids to. I feel like women just introduce bad men to their sons way too soon. These men aren't any type of influence on the kids. They don't even care about the kids. And then they spend a lot of money on these men to try to retain them, all the while taking money from their kids' expenses. I don't care for women that put men before their children. And I think we need to start talking about that too. A lot of women out here put men before their children. A lot of women out here can't co-parent with a baby daddy. And I'm going to give you guys a really quick story. And I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this before, but in that moment, I understood the psychology of why some men hate their mothers. Um, I moved from a house, and I had a neighbor a couple of years ago that had her and her baby daddy were living together, but he was constantly cheating on her and disrespecting her. And so he would be in and out of the house. He would forget, he would do something nice to her for her, and then she would bring him back in, and then he would go out and disrespect her again, and so I guess they came together. It was one of those times where they got back together, and on this particular day, he was hypersensitive with his phone, right? And, here's the thing about Black women and asking men about their phone. So, have you ever made a decision about what you're going to do after you maybe see or not see the information that you're looking for? I ask Black women this when they be talking about something. I ask them, let me see your phone? Let me see your phone. You obviously do not trust this man, right? But a lot of these women don't make a decision because they're reacting to what they think is going on. And they don't make a decision about what they're going to do when they find out information, right? So this day, he was hyper holding the phone, and she was having a problem with that. She wanted him to give him, she demanded him, give me your phone, let me see your phone, let me see your phone, antagonizing the man. He clearly did not want that. He clearly did not want her to see something that he was doing, whatever. You know what I mean? Because men will, before some of these men, and I say some, not all, because I'm trying not to generalize men, will be accountable to his woman about the disrespect that he is, doing against her. He will disrespect her. I will not be, before I'm accountable for what I'm doing against you, I will disrespect you. Right. But this man, and this is where I kind of understood some things, a couple of things. He was not trying to be disrespectful because she was out. This was all outside. So it's not like we all couldn't see it. And I think he didn't want to be embarrassed. He didn't want the household to be embarrassed. He didn't want the business out on the streets. So he's like, chill, cool, be cool. The kids trying to play, their kids were playing with my kids. So I ain't even trying to be in no shit like that. But then it escalated real quick when she snatched his phone, and now he has her, she runs with it. I don't know how much information she received, but he grabbed the phone, pins her against the wall. Now the kid is crying and freaking out. And then, the kids had like this metal, like this little plastic bat. And so now after she breaks free from him, she's coming at him with this plastic bat. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And the little boy, and I got a side note, very attached to the dad. Looked just like the dude. He's so attached to his dad. I could see that. And now the mother's attacking the dad, and he's crying, "Mommy, stop! Mommy, stop! Mommy, stop!" Now all the time the dad had mom hemmed up. He wasn't saying shit. But mommy started attacking dad with the bat. "Mommy, stop! Stop! Stop!" And my heart's breaking. My heart's breaking, and I'm just like, this is not my business. I'm pulling my kids in. You guys go inside the house. Like, I just want my kids out of the situation. Playtime's over. But I'm still there because, I don't know why I stayed. I should have just let them just be there. So I just asked her, I said, "Hey, can he come into the house?" You know what I mean? Because I didn't want him to watch his mother doing it to his dad. I didn't want him to watch his mother doing it to his dad. And it was in that moment I realized why some men hate their mothers. Because women can be so disrespectful to a man that doesn't want to be on 100. She's on 100 because of her feelings of what she thinks and obviously knows what he's doing. But she's tolerating it. She's allowing it because she's still with him. But then, to see a man trying to back down from a woman that's on a 100 and for her to keep pushing at him like that. And then in front of the kids. And the boy was more devastated by what his mother was doing to his father. Because I feel like deep down, that little boy probably recognized that his dad was not trying to go there. And mom continued to want to. Let me get to some of his comments. Yeah, Thomas Sowell is the truth. I love intellectuals in society is in my on my fireplace. Sorry, I was just rambling. What's up, Marshall? Just got here. Love it. Thanks, dude. I'm doing well. FYI, audio is great, but video is low res and blurry compared to usual. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in a very high Wi-Fi usage area, and I think I need to. Someone told me to get a booster I think you told me to get a booster. So I'm going to look into investing in that. Honestly, this is not a big production channel. This is just some real talk jargon that you can take in at your leisure. But getting back to that story, um, the dad asked me, could I take the boy in the house? Because she was ignoring. She was just very like not listening, and he just like take him because the little boy was his like just I felt bad. So brought him in the house, and he was very concerned. He was like, "Daddy," like he was worried about his dad. You know what I mean? And when you have a man that's good to his son like that, and then a woman blatantly disrespects to that degree in front of everybody, little boys remember that. Little boys remember that. And so I encourage all of my Black women as we all try to come to ourselves and have the conversations about what's going on between Black men and Black women. These are my opinions. These are my observations. That we need to be better. We really need to be better at handling our own emotions, and we need to just be able to sit back and think before we react to things that we assume. And, again, I don't believe in a woman remaining in a relationship with a man that obviously cannot respect her and obviously cannot be exclusive with her. But women need to start, again, if you're a single woman with no children, you have a very clean slate to make the best decisions possible for your long term living. You do not have to repeat the cycles of ignorant decision making that happens in the Black community. You know what I mean? Same way with young Black men. You don't have to repeat these cycles. You know, I did a video, or I was over at my sister's house yesterday on the east side of Detroit. And if you know anything about the east side of Detroit, it's a different mindset sometimes. And I was getting ready to do a live, but my live got interrupted because this young brother was yelling at his girl down the street, calling her a dumb bum bitch and all this stuff like that. And then, he just going in on this woman, and I can hear her in the background like, you ain't this, blah, 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 or whatever. And, I was in a store previously, and the young girl on the phone, everybody can hear her ignorant ass conversation about, oh, you talking shit about me. And here's the thing, it's just like, and I don't fuck with people like that. Now that should have been the end of it, right? See, Black women want to linger on with points. You know what I mean? I'm a pretty cut and dry bitch. I'll cut you real quick, real dry, and that's it. I'm not about to sit up there and just burn my energy arguing with somebody that's not very rational to see my point or my feelings. So I'm that walk away bitch. I am that silent bitch. I'll go in on you, for a minute, but then I will shut down. I literally shut down and I don't see you. And I will kind of be stuck in my feelings, wondering about, what I could have did differently in that situation. But if I'm absolutely right, I'm that girl. I won't fuck with my dude, and it can go for weeks. And you may not even know if you my dude anymore, because I don't play certain games in relationships. That's the alpha female in me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are a believer in alpha females. We exist for sure. But alpha females, we need to work on ourselves too. And, I have been listening to a lot of the dialogue of Black men on different YouTube channels. And, here's the thing. I didn't even know these type of Black men existed. I really didn't. I really didn't think that there was, there are good Black men out there with a very good mindset, a really good mindset. And, I think Black women, we just need to, some of us, if you're a single Black woman, you need to learn what they are talking about and what they're looking for in terms of an equitable woman, and, working on the aspects about yourself to make yourself that for him, you know? And, if you're a single mom, here's the thing, we still have equity, right? I have no problem getting a man of any caliber, any valuation status. I don't. I do not. But I inspire men. I inspire men like alpha females do. I'm a confidant to men. I give them advice that they can work with and still feel like their masculine selves. So I don't have a problem getting a man of any caliber valuation. I know what type of man I want. You know what I mean? And my man isn't superficial. My man is simple. He's backwater. He's dirty. I love the dirty boys. Happy Father's Day. Bye.